Remember when MMOs didn't just feel like games? They felt like the entire other lives that you couldn't wait to get back to. Back when we'd rush home, log in, and disappear into this massive online world with our guild, our friends. Yeah, those were the golden days. While we might never get to relive that nostalgia, that doesn't necessarily mean that those feelings are dead. They're just waiting for the right game to come along. And one of these games might just give that back to us. There are 11 MMORPGs that I'm currently looking forward to that have been confirmed to be releasing between now and approximately 2028. And I want to take a moment here to discuss them all with you. Maybe reignite that hype that you have. So let's do that. Let's kick things off with Aion 2 from NCSoft. This is the long-awaited sequel to the original 2008 Aion, a fantasy MMORPG centered on the eternal conflict between the Ilios and the Asmodeans. It features PvP, 8 classes at launch, over 200 dungeons. This is actually confirmed by NCSoft themselves. Crafting, housing, and aerial combat. NCSoft is developing it in Unreal Engine 5. The Korean and Taiwanese versions launched in November 2025 on PC and mobile with full crossplay functionality, but the global release is targeted for the second half of 2026, a Q3 window. The world is a staggering 36 times larger than the original, with unrestricted flying everywhere you can see, no more limitations. It's got deep PvPvE, and NCSoft has promised less aggressive monetization for global servers compared to some of their other titles. If you loved classic Aion's verticality and faction wars, then this looks like a next generation evolution. Next up is ArcheAge Chronicles. This was formerly known as ArcheAge 2 from XL Games and publisher Kakao Games. It is an action-adventure MMORPG, or it was. They're kind of vague about whether they still want to be an MMO or instead label themselves as an online RPG. Regardless, it's set in a vast, seamless open world full of exploration, epic raids, cooperative gameplay, home customization, and diverse biomes from forests to seas. It's supposedly going to have a heavier emphasis on story, combat, and adventure rather than the original's full-blown PvP focus. They confirmed that this has been drastically scaled back. It's coming to PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series XS. Originally, the game was eyed for 2025. It's now targeting a 2026 release following closed beta testing. Moving on to Bellatores from Korean studio Nyo. This is a PC-exclusive open-world sandbox MMORPG set in a 15th century medieval era revolving around political intrigue and massive conflicts between 5 noble houses. Players can form alliances, they can betray rivals, they can influence history through player-driven politics, they can engage in thrilling PvP-focused warfare. It's being built in Unreal Engine 5 with action combat, a proficiency-based progression system, crafting, and a player-driven economy. There is no firm global launch date yet, sadly, but a second closed beta is slated for the second quarter of 2026, with a full release eyed for the fourth quarter of 2026. It's strictly PC first for that pure, uncompromised MMO feel. There are no mobile compromises here, and the emphasis on emergent storytelling through the house politics and the large-scale battles makes it feel like a true sandbox successor to older PvP-heavy titles. Chrono Odyssey from Chrono Studio, also published by Kakao Games, is a next-gen action MMORPG powered by Unreal Engine 5 that both Mrs. Deeks and I got to play last year. It features a seamless open world with varied biomes, dynamic time manipulation combat, deep character customization, harvesting, crafting, dungeons, raid, and PvP areas. The sci-fi fantasy blend with time-bending mechanics sets it apart. It's heading to PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS, and was also targeted for a fourth quarter 2025 global launch initially, but ultimately after a poor reception, got pushed all the way back into 2026, maybe 2027. Cinder City, formerly Project LLL, is NCSoft's Big Fire Game Studio entry, an MMO tactical shooter set in a dystopian post-apocalyptic alternate history Seoul. It features large-scale multiplayer boss battles, heavy mech warfare, co-op elements. Unreal Engine 5 powers a seamless world. It's coming to PC and consoles in the second half of 2026 and blends MMO persistence and progression with tactical shooter gameplay in a hyper-detailed, real-world inspired megacity. It feels like a fresh genre hybrid for fans of both looter shooters and MMOs. Honor of Kings World brings the massive MOBA universe of Honor of Kings into a full open-world action RPG/MMO hybrid. You'll explore a stunning Eastern fantasy realm, swap between iconic heroes with their unique skills, team up for adventures, and dive into combat and exploration. It released on both PC and mobile in China in April 2026. A global rollout is expected sometime soon in 2026 on PC and mobile with full crossplay. Mrs. Sticks has played a lot of this game, probably too much, and it is probably the most fun multiplayer experience she's had since Where Winds Meet launched. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. HoYo's MMO, the untitled fantasy MMORPG specifically from HoYoverse or MiHoYo, is still deep in the development phase, but it is shaping up to be an ambitious open-world realistic fantasy MMO. It's going to feature next-gen visuals in Unreal Engine 5, immersive exploration, and potentially advanced AI systems in a richly detailed world. I also want to point out the footage you see on screen right now is not of the game. I know a lot of people misconstrue background footage as the footage of the game, but this is not the case. There is no footage for this game yet. The game is going to likely be fully cross-platform compatible though between PC, console, and mobile, but unfortunately there is no release window yet. Kuro's MMO, which I also want to point out, the footage in the background right now is not of this MMO that's coming out. This is of Wuthering Waves, their other game. But Kuro's MMO is another early stage project. Job listings point to a large-scale open-world multiplayer ARPG/MMO hybrid with dungeons, expansive maps, action combat. There's no official title yet. There's no official release date yet. There are no platforms announced yet, but much like with HoYoverse, it's a safe bet to assume PC, consoles, and mobile based on Kuro's history. With how impressive Wuthering Waves is, this is going to shape up to potentially be the biggest anime MMO of the decade, which I guess isn't really a very high bar to overcome. Lord of Mysteries, the officially licensed adaptation from Spark Nexa under Kwaisho, is a dark fantasy MMO RPG hybrid based on the hit novel. And yes, we are listing quite a few RPG MMO or MMORPG hybrids here because I think the MMORPG genre is evolving. You'll step into a Victorian steampunk world as a Beyonder, mastering supernatural pathways, solving mysteries, exploring a lore-rich open world with fully co-op elements. It's being built on Unreal Engine 5, features full cross-platform play between PC and mobile. Closed beta testing is currently underway with a full global launch targeted for later this year in 2026. Yes, this year. This is probably an MMO that you had no idea was even coming out. Then we have Monsters and Memories from indie studio Niche Worlds Cult. This is a subscription-based old-school MMORPG channeling that classic EverQuest vibe with group-focused content, cityscapes, dungeons, overland zones, and ocean exploration. There are no microtransactions at all, just a $15 monthly sub for ongoing updates. This is PC focused with early access now slated for October 1st, 2026, following their beta in March. Prism 2033 from Chinese studio Cyberness Entertainment is a next-generation futuristic parallel universe MMORPG powered by Unreal Engine 5. Players operate out of a central hub city called Flux City and hop between interconnected parallel worlds and realities in a collapsing multiverse with action combat and shooter mechanics, deep exploration, missions, raids, and highly dynamic environments. It's coming to PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store, plus mobile via iOS and Android. It was announced in March 2026 with impressive early trailers of a little AI seeming. There's no firm release date yet. Speculation, however, points to late 2026 or early 2027, given the ambitious scope and new studio. Whew, now that is an absolutely stacked list. What MMO are you looking forward to? I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.